Hi, it's a tiny one / Bishie, and if you look right there, it's nice and clean. Yeah, I just had a brief moment where I said, let's get this done and let's clean it. I'm very burpy right now. It is, what time is it? Almost noon. I haven't slept. I'm tired, but let's get this video done. And I have a couple more after this, so might as well do it while I'm awake, and then I will do some sleep. Yes, I have my Death of Superman shirt on. Anyways, so these are going to be stories of when I worked in the video store. Now, the video store that I used to work at is gone, and I'm sorry if you can hear my roommate say video. But for what do you call it? My brain's not working. For privacy purposes, I will not name the name of the video store. But this was a video store I worked at with my roommate, and I mean, it was okay. We worked at it with a friend. Hi, if you're watching my videos. I don't know if he watches my videos or not, but yeah, we worked at it with a friend, and it was pretty cool. You learn a lot of people and their choices when it comes to working in a store. It was kind of low-key for me, you know. I, of course, did register. I did putting the videos back, that sort of thing. Some of the things I didn't like about working at the video store were, and I know, as an AIDS person, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm not into pornography, none of that. But our video store had if you've been to video stores, you know what they're like way back when. They had that curtained off section that had porn. And let me tell you, it was a bit disturbing having, and I never saw women. Maybe there were some women, but it was always men who would put their videos down, and a lot of them would have porn and children's videos. And I hated it so much because it was so creepy. If the kid was there, it wasn't as creepy. It still had the creep factor to it. But it was more creepy when it was just the guy with the videos and no child. No child in sight, nothing. You want to hope that there was a child at home that was going to get to watch children's videos, and then in the privacy of his own room, whatever, he watched those videos, the other videos. But you never knew. And the and the town that we worked in was considered a good town. So it's like, and there are some people that may have lived where I used to work who might know the video store. If you do, don't say the name. There was one boss that was very, very awesome, and when I had to stop working, but because the video store and where we lived was quite a distance away, the roommate would just take me with him to work, and then I'd hang out in the van, and then like at nighttime when there was hardly any people, that's when I would go into the store and hang out, whatever. Now, there was one boss who, we still chatted and everything after I stopped working. And there was one time she said, "Do you want some cotton candy?" And I said, "I don't have any money." And she's like, "That's not what I asked." So I got free cotton candy that night. I was also allowed, when it was dead at night, to sit in the child's room, and then they would put videos on just for me, just to like hang out, chill, whatever. Or another friend and I would go to the way, way back of the store and lay down on the floor and watch the video screen up above us that had videos. If our friend, who was the manager at the time, was working, then we'd usually have, late at night, we have like celebrity deathmatch and that sort of stuff going on, you know, fun stuff. Because technically no kids were, we worked back at a time when little kids weren't out late at night. Nowadays, that's not the case. Let's see, there was also, thankfully I haven't worked there long enough to remember names. There was a girl that worked there, and I call everyone girl, young person, whatever. But she was short like me, and she worked there, and she was obsessed with the porn room. Every time one of those type of videos returned, she would practically drop whatever she was doing. "I'll put it back, I'll put it back." And then she'd stay there 10, 15, 20 minutes. The room wasn't that big. It was... Actually, I never went in that room. I had no business to want to go in that room. So I don't know exactly how big it was, but it shouldn't take you that long, especially with how many trips she took in there. It shouldn't take her that long to put one video back. This bit of hair just wants to do something. Until one day, it was hilarious. She's in there, whatever. It's about closing time, so they were starting closing procedures. And she starts screaming, and she runs out of the room. We have never seen her that terrified. So the roommate goes in, and I forget if it was a roommate or our manager friend. And there was a bug in the room that she was terrified of. A bug is what kept her out of that place ever since. It was the funniest thing. And even when it was carried out, one of the guys picked it up and carried it outside, no, she was still terrified. I was like, "It's a bug. It's not going to hurt you." But, okay. Another funny story is, at the time that I worked there was 2 store locations, one at either end of town. And I usually worked at the bigger store, but one day I was asked to work at the smaller location. That's fine. And the roommate had to work with us, had to work with me. So I'm working my shift, and then I think he had to work a later shift. So I finished my shift, and I'm hanging out in the car. And, you know, I'm listening to music, whatever, and then all of a sudden, he comes into the car, and he has blood coming down his forehead. I'm like, what happened? So apparently, there is an archway in that video store, and my roommate is 6'8", tall. So he kept hitting his head on the archway. Unfortunately, there was a nail sticking out in that archway, and his forehead made contact with it. And he was bleeding. The manager on duty at the time was not a good manager. He didn't care, and he just basically said, put a bandage on it, that's it. We had old registers. If you hit 2 buttons at once, it froze the system, and then you had to figure out a way to restart it. So basically, here's the keyboard. My roommate went with his big, huge paw and just smashed a whole bunch of keys and just held it there. And when you push too many keys, 2 is too many keys, it makes this loud, high-pitched sound. That's horrible. And it will not stop until you restart the system. He had pushed so many keys, that register refused to start. I think they unplugged it at one point and tried plugging it again, and it was still making that noise. And so he was like, can I go home? And that's how he was allowed to go. But yeah, it was okay. I hate when I do that. It was an experience working at the video store. Let me just put it that way. It was a good experience. It's good customer service. It's good with technically the videos, but still filing system. It's good number system. It's good inventory. That sort of thing. Cleaning procedures for a store. Cash handling, returns. I mean, I got all that good experience from it. But then, of course, there's also the weird stuff that happens, like, you know, cards getting rejected, us having to cut up customers' credit cards, that sort of thing. Us having to deal with creepy stuff like guys and their porn and children's videos, you know, that sort of stuff. But I'm still glad I was able to work there, and I'm still glad that I had friends that I made there and friends that I knew that I was able to work with, and it wasn't that bad an experience. But yeah, anyways, those are some of the stories of me working in a video store. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.